Qataris, especially Sheikh Jassim Al Thani representing them, is set to complete a United £6 billion takeover. Welcome to United Matters channel. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rock and David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're only watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. It's back in the news, and throughout the entire transfer window, nothing like the takeover news has been really going on. But as we really reach the climax of the transfer window, things have gone ahead to show up in a different way altogether. And it was a United correspondent for the Sun known as, Neil Curtis? Is known as Neil Curtis, coming out and obviously revealing to us that Sheikh Jassim Al Thani is set to obviously do this, take this to the next level. David Austin in the mix. The employees of Manchester United have gone ahead to obviously demonstrate against the Glazers, and they want them out. And lastly, Brandon Williams obviously is set to complete his move to Ipswich Town, and we are really having some good news about the United young ones that took place today, that took part into the game today. Now, let's see close to 300 likes much in this video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Now, this story was broken yesterday evening that Sheikh Jassim Al Thani is set to complete his full £6 billion takeover Man United by mid-October. That is it. We are in August, meaning that we are soon coming to the end of August, starting September, meaning that the next 50 days are really going to be crucial in this takeover. It has been off the news, and finally every journalist is talking about it after this story was broken by Neil Curtis, meaning that he got it from a credible source and is a correspondent for the Sun. He added and said an announcement that Sheikh Jassim Al Thani will complete a takeover could come as early as next month. Sheikh Jassim's team are now completing their due diligence on the club before they end the 18-year reign of the Glazers. You know, this is music to ears to all Man United fans all over the world. And this comes to my notice that even if the Glazers wanted to stay, they all knew that it was hard for them to obviously stay. And one will ask, why didn't they sell the club to Sheikh Jassim Al Thani? As they pushed on to see to it that they hit their £6 billion request or asking price, time really faded out, and they knew that it would be hard for United to obviously buy players if at all they sell the club to Sheikh Jassim Al Thani, take close to 1 month of Premier League approval, and obviously the players would have gone ahead to would have gone already to other clubs. So I think they said it's wise to obviously first do the business and then sell off the club. And secondly, it works well for them because they'll tell Sheikh Jassim Al Thani, you've gone ahead to inject close to £200 million in the club, and why don't you obviously put in that amount of money for us? And I think they also anticipated that by the time United are going to hate to play a very big role into the season, Champions League, and there will be even other suitors ready to come in through and obviously maybe take over Sheikh Jassim Al Thani. So it's all playing in their favor, but what we want is to see these leaving the club of Manchester United. Then Neil Curtis said Sheikh Jassim Al Thani plans to upgrade both Old Trafford and the club's Carrington training ground while continuing the investment in the team. The Glazers wanted to continue holding shares, but we are warned by senior figures there would be a huge backlash from the fan base. Obviously, there will be a huge backlash from the fan base because the fan base will always react. And in my language, there is a saying that, why do you romance a woman when you are important? Because the moment you make her want making love to you and you cannot fulfill her desires, she can even beat you up. So by announcing that the club is up for sale and bids are in, United or the Glazers, we are putting with the fans in a mode of making love. That is it. Now, for all this period, the transfers have held the pressure down. That's why you saw to it that during the transfer window, the fans were not so much onto the Glazers out movement. But after the transfer window ends, they are going to focus back onto this. And this story comes in when United is just going to lose 2-0 to Tottenham Hotspur. You know, That's why I've seen some people asking themselves, isn't this a spin being put out by the Glazers to really stop the riots or demonstrations that are going to be at Old Trafford on Saturday as we take on Nottingham Forest? That is a very, 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 very huge question being asked, and we're here to bring you the latest that is really required to see to it that things go on as planned. So the Glazers have been warned about the backlash from the fans, and trust me, this time round the fans have decided to sit in the stadium after the game is done. They are going nowhere. They are going to sit for an hour and obviously demonstrate, send their message out clear that they want the Glazers out. And the Glazers should know that it's called what? The honeymoon period is over. That was the transfer window, because most fans were focused on to who is leaving, who is moving in. Now, the reality check is coming in through after this is done. That is it. So I really understand what's taking place at Manchester United. The Glazers are feeling the pressure and they have nothing to do apart from surrendering this club to Sheikh Jassim Al Thani. Now, David Austin went on and added that the bigger unanswered question is whether the Glazers will really sell Man United when push comes to shove. So far, we haven't had any answer yet, but perhaps we are getting towards it now. There was a consensus that this takeover will get a resolution after the transfer. So this is another confirmation coming in from David Austin that a consensus was reached between Man United and the two people that we are vying to buy it. That is Sheikh Jassim Al Thani and Sir Jim Ratcliffe, that the takeover will get a resolution after a transfer. And I know what this means. One, they want it after the transfer because they want to close in on a new shirt deal sponsor. That is it. Even on the kit sponsor, that was done, £90 million in. Now, if at all they get a shirt sponsor from Man United that might offer them close to £100 million, that will be something great for them, and they'll use that as the yardstick to tell Sheikh Jassim Al Thani, please, why don't you get us our £6 billion, because we have just secured two deals that are worth £200 million every year. And things are not going as planned for the Glazers, because even the staff of United have been demonstrating. They wrote some notes and they put them down onto their workplaces and work desks at Manchester United. So it shows you how bad this is going, and the Glazers might not obviously find a way of leaving the club. Of staying here at Manchester United, if at all they don't leave very peacefully. They are going to be forced out by these fans of United, because I know how ridiculous and how bitter they are as far as these Glazers are really concerned. Things aren't going the way they want them to be, because if we went ahead to win genuinely against Wolverhampton Wanderers and obviously also win against Spurs, then the pressure wouldn't have mounted. But the pressure is mounting. Do you know why? The pressure is mounting because of our poor performances that we've gone ahead to obviously showcase on the field of play. That is something hard to be obviously one of those to consider. So I really anticipate that this takeover is back, and this time around Sheikh Jassim Al Thani is obviously going to obviously take over. But don't rule out a situation that the Glazers are putting this out because they're afraid of the demonstration being planned by the fans of Man United on Saturday. That is it. On Saturday, the fans of United are set to obviously demonstrate. This time round, not outside the stadium, but inside the stadium after the game of Manchester United versus Nottingham is done and dusted. That is it. So let's wait and see how that pans out. But I would like to thank everyone who has been part of this channel, and thank you for obviously being patient, because we are really having issues yesterday and we are back in a full gear. Now we go to Fabrizio Romano confirming to us that negotiations between Ipswich Town and Manchester United for Brandon Williams are advancing, loan deal to include buy option clause. Williams in the list of players expected to leave Man United by the end of the window, as Ten Hag also went ahead and really hinted about it after the game of Tottenham Hotspur, that Brandon Williams and Donny van de Beek, their minds are no longer at Old Trafford. They feel it's time for them to leave. But I think Brandon Williams, it's really one of those things that he was supposed to do earlier last summer, but he got an injury. And I think this time around, he has gone ahead to really put up a very good orchestration in the preseason, and it's better for him to go and play for Ipswich Town, because at his age, he just needs to go there, prove himself, and maybe he'll return to the Premier League. I know the point has always been his salary that he earns at Man United, £50,000 a week. Now, how much can Ipswich pay Brandon Williams? But I think if he goes in the Championship and gets enough playing time, if Ipswich doesn't qualify for the Premier League, he will attract attention from Premier League teams, and we see that happening. And I think it's better to offload him. Let's offload him and sell him, because we know that he's done and dusted. And it shows you how this guy is not even the levels of earning 50,000 grand a week at Man United, because a player who earns 50,000 grand at Man United would have been highly attracting big clubs, right, in the Premier League, or some clubs in the Premier League like Fulham, West Ham, Brighton, and very many others. But if at all there is no big team that is interested in him, that is a reality check or a cold harsh fact to the United board that where were you looking when you're issuing such contracts to people like Brandon Williams? And we look at Alvaro Fernandez. He's a far much better player than this guy, and we just have to get out and see how this is going to pan out in the next coming days. So guys, tell me your thoughts about Sheikh Jassim Al Thani set to complete a £6 billion United takeover soon. What do you make about Brandon Williams leaving the club of Manchester United? All that and more into the comment section below. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. May the living to God bless you abundantly. For my Muslim viewers and subscribers, Barakallahu Fikum. I sign out for now. See you later. Peace out.